Join us, MrTruck.com, for truck reviews, trailer reviews, and accessory reviews. Okay, Mr. Truck and Chris. Well, we're in Chris's diesel Silverado Duramax, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the controversy, of course, is diesel versus gas. You know, I mean, there's times when diesels make a lot of sense, and there's times when gas does. And I put it in our Truck Nuts book that Andre and I wrote about which one do you need. So, tell me, Chris, or do you want me to go first? Or you want to go first?
That don't matter. You can go first.
Well, the reason I like gas engines over diesel, and there is a place for diesel. If I had a big trailer towing all the time, definitely have a diesel. But, you know, if I compare it to, say, a Ram, then you're looking at $11,000 for the Ison 6-speed and a diesel engine. And, you know, it takes, last time I calculated it, I've been calculating that for the last 10 years, it took 150 to 200,000 miles to pay for the extra option of the diesel. And you got extra, it costs more for gas engine, for oil changes, it costs more for the mechanics per hour. So you have all that, and you know, it sounds cool. And you know, when I was selling trucks, state patrol guys would come in, they'd want to test drive, and you know, they always loved power and they could go fast with their vehicles. So they would go out there and fly with these new diesels, and they just loved it. And it was great. And it is, people get addicted to the power, but the gas engine costs that much less. Now, the half-ton diesels, because they only cost you like $5,000, not $11,000, you can pay for them about twice as fast. So those make economical sense for me. But you know, the diesel, you put diesel in there, if you don't have your gloves on, you get it on your hand, you smell it 3 days later. That's the normal stuff. But they are cool for a lot of stuff. Now, gas engines, now you get like a 7.3 from Ford, the new gas engine V8. They got all kinds of power. You can get them down to 430. You can tow as much as with a lot of the diesels. And two, what people don't know about, I guess I'm just saying negative things about diesel, but I'm just trying to get the whole picture out there. Because in a full size, at the very highest output, you know, whether it's Ram, Ford, or GM, and they'll tow 30,000 pounds plus. And that tows the most. But if you go to the mid-size, not mid-size, if you go to like a 3/4 ton, 2,500 F250 thing with a normal diesel, a lot of times the bigger gas will tow more because you don't have that extra 600 pounds weight of the diesel, which takes away from payload, takes away from trailering. So there's a lot to look at there. But the gas, you know, if you get the bigger fuel mileage, I mean, they are similar, diesel and gas, on the highway empty. The diesel really shines loaded. But the gas, you know, it's because the gases are running, you know, it's 5,000, 6,000 RPM, of course it's going to use more fuel. With the diesels, you know, they idle about, whatever it is, they idle to a full torque about 1,800 RPM, 2,000 RPM. I mean, you never see already semis hardly even hit 2,000 RPM. But, so, the gas, they're quieter, they smell less, but they don't sound as cool. But the gas engines, you know, I mean, just think about what $11,000 does to your payment. And that's what I look at too. And to do a lot of good with these, you know, the diesels, depends on the 10-speed or 6-speed, you have a lot of options there for, you know, how you can pull the grades and your grade shifting. And, you know, of course, you know all about exhaust brakes. That's a big advantage for your side. So that's enough of my yakking. So tell me all about why you love a diesel.
Well, I've owned both. The smaller gas trucks, all the way up to this big one here. This is a 1-ton truck. It's a 2014. Oh,
this is a 35. I didn't even read it. Wow.
It's a 3,500. It stock. It was 397 horsepower and about 765 foot-pounds of torque. And of course, I've modified this truck a little bit for towing things. I mean, I like the diesel better just because I have that low-end torque that I can pull stuff. I've pulled a tractor with this before. I've pulled skid loaders with this before. We've had trailers full of four-wheelers and all kinds of stuff with this. I mean, there is downfalls that smell, But this is an older truck. You look at your newer trucks, you know, the smell isn't quite as prevalent there, and it's not quite as noisy, you know, unless of course you're filling up and you get it on your hands or something like that. But
yeah. Well, they've changed them a lot, and they're not the old dirty diesels I grew up with.
No.
If you follow the old Mercedes up the hill in the mountains that didn't have turbos on them, they killed all the mosquitoes in 3 states.
Yeah, they were stinky and smoky, and
yeah, you don't see the smoke hardly anymore unless somebody does it on purpose. They're rolling coal, but these have gotten a lot cleaner, and there's a lot to say about them. But like I was saying at the beginning, if I pull trailers all the time, if I put a lot of miles on them, diesel is the only thing I would get.
Yeah, buy the truck for the job that you're doing.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I said, I've had both. And the smaller gas engine half tons, I mean, they just don't pull what I need to pull, so that's why I went with this truck.
Yeah, and when you are towing, you're pulling, 5,000-6,000 RPM. It's not the easiest thing on those engines.
No.
That's a lot of stress on them. Where these are like idling at full torque, which is a good thing. And we're sitting in this one; it's running, so you probably can hear a little bit of it. But it's not extrusive. But you've done some things to the exhaust. Is it a modified exhaust?
It's straight pipe AFE exhaust. We've got an H&S tuner on it. I've done some other things to it as well. But
oh, cool.
It's not a stock pickup by any means.
Yeah, and I didn't really see it smoking coming in the yard. So that's one thing I liked about Gale Banks. His theory was to tune it properly and not blow smoke, because that kind of actually hurts the industry, because everything's a diesel is a big smoky thing.
And the thing that kids don't understand when they're doing those smoky burnouts and stuff like that, trying to roll coal and stuff, you're actually wasting a lot of fuel by doing that, by dumping it into the system like that. It's really not good for the truck. I mean, it looks cool, but it's pointless.
That's very true. That's all it is unused fuel. That's what the smoke is. Yep. Diesel going to waste, and then it's hard on a lot of stuff. And diesel particulate filters, you really can clog them up sooner if you're doing all that playing.
Yep.
This probably did this originally have the DPF filter?
Yeah, this has the DEF system on it. That's another thing, with the diesel, you have extra cost. I'll have to dump a gallon of that or a couple gallons of that, when you do your oil changes and stuff like that. There'll be a light that comes on and kind of tells you, when you need to add DEF to your system.
Yeah, then they go into limp mode if you don't.
Yeah, they will go into limp mode. You'll see it. You'll notice the power and power loss and stuff like that when it does go into limp mode.
Well, cool. And this too is back when they had the tank up under the hood. You always had to open the hood and pour it in.
Yeah, you pour it in the hood.
Yeah, and then now they've changed it. The new ones, the 2019 half ton and the 20s, they've all got them back there where they're supposed to be on the fuel tank.
Yeah.
Which I like. Because when they had them hanging below the frame, I never quite understood that, because that was in the way. But now they fixed all that, so they just keep getting better. So you probably need to go get a new truck.
Yeah, the cost is the major thing. You kind of already covered that. A brand new diesel truck is way more expensive than what a gas truck is. Yeah, but it just depends on what you're going to use it for. It really does.
That's true, and if you plan on keeping them forever, like a lot of people do, you can certainly pay off the diesel.
Yeah, I can run this, probably twice as long as what I could run a gas engine, just because of that fact. It will last longer.
Well, cool. Well, it looks like good shape. Let's get the other camera and you can tell me all about it.
Okay.
Cool, Chris. Good looking truck. Tell me all about it.
It's a 2014 Duramax. It's the LML. Like I said, I've updated it. It's got a fast lift pump on it. The factory style injection pump isn't very good, so we added the lift pump to it. That has to do with some of the other upgrades and stuff I've done to it.
Is that a C3 or what's that called, that pump?
I believe it's a C3.
3 sharp truck. Although the wheels on there, what size tires are those?
Those are 20-inch.
Yeah.
That's the other problem with Chevys, is they actually have the squared out fender wells, so getting bigger there can be challenging. A lot of times people have to modify the inside of the fenders just to get something bigger to fit in there.
Well, did you do a lift on it?
I just did a leveling kit on it.
Oh, just the front then? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. You got the towing mirrors, you got the whole ball of wax. It has a good stance to it. I remember these old big bumpers on these puppies. Do you know what fuel mileage you're getting empty on the highway?
I'm getting 19 with it now. Originally when I bought the truck, before I modified it, I was getting right at 16.
Oh yeah. Well, tires take some, lift takes some, that's just how it goes.
It's going to take its toll a little bit. I'm sure I can do anything.
Well, yeah, as always, what you got to do is decide between fuel mileage and power, and usually it's a compromise of some kind.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Can you show me the interior of it? It's a crew cab.
It's all dirty.
Well, that's okay. This is real life, man. It's not a showroom truck that you just bought yesterday. It's the real thing. Ooh, look at the leather. And the wood. These are cool. I like these. This is an LTZ.
Yeah.
So that's pretty high up the ladder back in the day. And what year is it?
2014.
2014. I was really young in 2014. Big back seat, nice heavy leather. Power everything. I don't think you'd get any more sunglasses in this truck. Well, that's cool. Neat truck. So you're gonna keep this forever, or what's the deal?
Well, I bought it used with 50,000 miles on it. I've got 80,000 miles on it now, so I'll probably keep this one for quite a while.
Well,
The diesel will last me a lot longer.
Well, it's probably the tallest truck you'll find in Missouri. Well, that's cool. Well, thanks for showing us your truck. It's awesome. I can't say let's go cruise chicks because somebody's over here listening.
If you have a short bed truck, you know it's not easy to hook up to a gooseneck. Pop-Up came out with these extensions from 9 inches to 16 inches to keep you from breaking out your back window when you're pulling a gooseneck trailer. And everybody uses a short bed. That's the most proper truck there is a crew cab short bed. So protect that window.